All right, that was a lot of fun right there. Just great energy. So much love for the fans that came out. I don't know what the final count was on attendance, but I mean it was a good amount. Lots of great energy. The guys needed it. You know, we're deep into camp, so all the help we can get to just kind of create those types of practices. You know, but took advantage of a full pregame for our rookies. Just kind of here's how we lay it out, and you know, took them into the half. Got them a feel for refocusing, splitting up offense, defense, working through some issues from the first half. So, but I thought there was a lot of good hitting out there. You know, some good, some bad. I'm sure we'll figure all that out as we watch film, but definitely a lot of fun.
You talked about the immediate feedback, the hearing the crowd roar.
Yeah.
Good play. Like how much did you miss that?
Oh, it's amazing. You know, and I think, you know, for these guys, this is why they do what they do. You know, you turn the lights on and they kind of go to another level, you know, naturally. And we push them every day in practice to get that kind of energy. But, you know, when we can get into our stadium and we get the energy from the fans, it becomes pretty special.
Any concern on, you know, Fitzgerald had a couple missed kicks, and how come Matthew didn't kick?
It's just practice. So this happened to be the practice that Ryan was kicking, you know. So, yeah, he missed a couple. So we're just learning more about the guys that we have.
Was it nice to see him attempt something beyond the skinny post, though? I mean, like at least to get that kind of range.
Yeah, it was good. And to see him, you know, with the whole environment, you know, and even right there, that situation was down 3, you know, to tie it up to go to overtime, you know. So a little extra added pressure, you know, for that situation. I thought Jack Plummer did a great job getting us down there. The guys operated well, and we got to finish those.
What did you not like in the first half, and what was corrected in the second half?
Just some matches on defense a couple times. Offensively, a couple of pre-snap penalties that we got to clean up. A few protection issues that we didn't pick up. And that's just kind of off the top of my head. Again, I'm going to watch the film, and there's going to be 100 things that I wish we could do better. But just at a glance, I think that's kind of what it was.
Jimmy make plays in the red zone during practice during the week, and now here tonight. What are you seeing out of him? He's not just like a guy that you send on a deep.
Yeah, I think it's the energy he plays with, you know, and he doesn't quit on routes. He continues, you know, after the normal part of the protection you can count on, he continues to find space, you know, and play fast. And it's a credit to his fitness, but it's also a credit to just the energy that he puts out there, you know, that you want to throw to him.
Was the early touchdown to Xavier? I mean, what happened on that play? What did you see?
I saw guys just take bad angles on a reception, you know, and he's big and fast, you know, and he kind of saw he had daylight and, you know, was able to get into the end zone. But I think, you know, it was a little bit of over pursuit by the defense. And that's why these scrimmages are so important for guys to kind of see, like in a practice, you may not get the full finish that you're expecting, you know, that you might see in a game. So you got to work on those angles and use your help. So that's one of the things I know that we can kind of look at and improve. But I love seeing Xavier with the ball in his hands running full speed. That means coaches are doing their job. So
Is there a reason why Ashawn, JC, and I guess anybody else was kind of held out of team drills today?
So JC kind of started off and you know, got his body ready. This was a pre-planned rest day for them. Again, while we try to hype it up as a scrimmage, in our normal flow of camp, it just happened to be a Indy-only take the team reps off day for those guys.
Did you get any update on DJ Johnson's hip injury the other day?
Just soreness, you know, general soreness, and we couldn't get him back to where we felt comfortable about putting him out there in a high-speed environment. So, you know, we'll take care of him, you know, one more day and kind of see where we're at tomorrow.
You've talked about Ransom's physicality. That showed up a lot tonight. In fact, one in the end zone that kind of took a guy down. Any issues with that, or you just like the physical play?
I love the physical play. That's got to be a left shoulder hit. You know, if you try to get your right shoulder across, your head will be involved. You will be getting mail from the league office. So it's an educational process. He had another opportunity later on in the second half, and, you know, David Moore caught a ball in front of him. He was on track to make a huge hit right there, and he kind of just formed up, and I could see that would have been an excellent play by him. But, yeah, so it's growth, you know.
Happy with Bryce's performance?
Absolutely. Just the operation of it all, you know, and getting us out there, flowing in and out of personnel, some tempo involved in there, hitting most of his throws. I think a couple he might have missed, you know, slightly. Even kind of that touchdown he had at the end. I wanted to get a 4th down attempt right there, but I think he's going to take a big hit and throw a touchdown on that play. But he's extending plays when he has to, but he was on time and on the money today, so I'm excited about where he's at.
You referenced the energy of practices. You mentioned this last week. You've seen it with some of the veterans. How vital is it to walk that line between, and I think you've discussed this too, how it can get overheated sometimes, but walking yourself up to that line but not crossing it? Is that something you saw tonight as well with the veterans and the rookies and the youngsters out there?
Absolutely, but I think what's happening is the guys are expecting physical play. You know, they're expecting the collisions. They're expecting the physical nature of what we're looking for. And so I think when you set the expectation, then guys don't take it personal because that's just how we practice. You know, when you attack the ball, the offensive guys, they don't get to complain. You know, when there's a big hit or a big block, that's legal. You know, we're taking care of each other, but the guys are getting used to that, being comfortable playing, you know, that physical style of play.
You mentioned the
We'll take
energy.
two more. We're going to do field, and we're going to do mid.
You mentioned the energy, sort of building up the energy 2 days off now. What do you want to see from the guys when you get back to practice and get back to work?
Well, we'll be back on the field for a little bit tomorrow. It won't be a full practice like we've had. But I think, you know, coming back, we have a great opportunity. We're hosting the Browns. You know, we'll stack up a couple of padded days again, back to back, one before and then one with the Browns. So, you know, for me, I think it's about just kind of evaluating our group coming out of this, you know, treating anything that comes up and then just getting those guys to, you know, get right back to work, you know, finding our work ethic after those breaks.
Dave, you start practice by addressing the fans, and then that moment at the end with Jace, what did it mean to kind of deliver that moment to that kid?
I mean, it's special, and, you know, it's Jace, but it's also just our greater Carolinas community and just a commitment for our guys to make this a better place to live, you know, and I think of just something that was cool is I was looking through a yearbook where our kids go to school, and it's the senior pictures, and there's a picture of Shaq Thompson from about 10 years ago, and you only get about 4 or 5 pictures to put into your yearbook as like these were like pivotal moments, you know, and I think about that, and the guys don't understand the impact they can have on people just by spending a little bit of time, by going to see someone, taking a picture with somebody, you know, connecting with our fan base, because, you know, they mean a lot to this town. So I love moments like that. We were really happy to do that.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Yep. All right, thank you.